As with most young males in America, I started off my political thinking when I discovered libertarianism. The basic premises of freedom from government intervention in my life, the ideas of the freedom to start a business or not to be taxed, sounded like music to my ears as I got paychecks with 30 hours of overtime and seen the amount of taxes I had to pay. Watching the regulations at my workplace force all of us to have to jump through hoops and take twice as long to complete a task seemed insane as they do now. As I got older and started thinking and reading more, seeing how the system really worked, I became less convinced of the ideas of libertarianism. The premises of Mises and Friedman, free trade, competition, open borders, and the like left a foul taste in my mouth as I watched immigrants fill my neighborhoods and large corporations monetize every aspect of humanity. Watching how the corporate media driven by advertising helped destroy the unions that white and black workers alike fought for and died for. Seeing goods made in China and Vietnam fill our shelves to keep the cost of life down as our paychecks stayed stagnant. Seeing credit schools and college degrees become more important than a man's health. Watching as personal debts exploded to keep up a standard of living because the labor share of income shrank after a Mexican and Chinese labor became the norm for all the jobs the lower class used to do. All of us adopting the attitude that not only was this a good thing, but the idea of doing real labor to earn a paycheck is something only the ignorant did. Watching as the average person, fat and lazy off the heavy carbohydrate diet due to the subsidies and economies of scale, not being able to make healthy options affordable, as corporations could produce food that hacked our biology, creating addictive products full of high fructose corn syrup and chemicals that cause cravings for food that 100 years ago didn't exist. A generation of people becoming paper wealthy, a retirement account full of dollars from investing in Ponzi schemes based off exponential growth of companies that use Chinese and Mexican labor to produce poison to feed the children. Companies that use patent law and court systems to own biologically modified plants and animals that produce pseudo-hormones in the entire population. Local food growers put out of business through lawsuits and undocumented workers treated as slaves, while whole swaths of farmland sold off after farmers become too old to real estate companies to build cookie-cutter neighborhoods made of prefabricated frames and upcharge hundreds of thousands of dollars. The sale forced after the children realized that they would go bankrupt trying to run the farm themselves. The average salary of a farmer in America is only $45,000 and the average age is 60. The average chicken farmer makes just $20,000 a year and carries a debt load of $500,000. All this for cheap products to maintain the lifestyles that we have become accustomed. We act like divorcees, trying to say we are accustomed to living a certain way, and the country should keep us fitted in this lifestyle, and it has. It created a system based on speculation and debt, a Ponzi of massive proportions. The media refuses to discuss any of it. Wars, bloodshed, death, destruction, all hidden from the average consumers. Ghetto, warfare, shootings, all the product of the system we refuse to discuss. Whispers of the causes of those symptoms. Wars on drugs and poverty. Conspiracy. Theories of master manipulators who pull strings. Jews, Rothschilds, the WEF, Bilderbergers, Bill Gates, Bezos, Buffett, George Soros. I've even heard reptilians and Jesuits. All of these ideas float around because we have no way to have a real conversation about what we have done as a society. Because we don't want to admit we brought the wolves to the doors. We screamed out and yelled about inflation. We want cheap food and went along with the destruction of unions and apprenticeship programs. We asked for more credit, asked for equity. We wanted to be lazier, to go to school. We wanted to turn a blind eye to the ghettos and violence, dismissed it as racism and stupidity. We didn't want to work anymore. We didn't want to pollute our water, rather offload that pollution to China. We wanted cheap stuff. We shopped at Walmart rather than our local stores. We stopped saving money. We wanted to not be responsible for our parents and move across the countries. We did all of this and more. No one wanted to be responsible for the outcomes. Now, as we sit in the precipice of a new world and things look very bleak, we place our faith and trust in technology and the same corporations who have led us to the situations we find ourselves in right now. We look at AI and automation as if it didn't destroy an entire swath of our population when we tried this the first time. Since the 1800s, we've been having wars, arguing, fighting Nietzsche and Marx over liberalism and trying to figure out a way to live alongside the machines we created. For 40 years, we literally tried to push it out of our view and into faraway lands, just so we didn't have to suffer the consequences of what we have created. The same educated class of people who fought for the system and reaped the rewards now screaming about climate change brought about by the system, forcing the populace to go electric and give up more financially to pay for the system they set up, scolding the underclasses like children for not trusting those who have disabused them of their humanity in the first place. We should probably talk about the management class for a moment. The management class is the new aristocracy in America. As most slave owners in the aristocracy in the South, most don't know each other and have no idea they are the aristocracy. If I'm honest, that's half the problem. When you're given rank without being informed you are in charge, it's a bit of a problem. Where did they come from? Who, why, what? All great questions you should be asking. And if you're not, you need to. Basically what happened is that in the 18th century, as industrialization was ramping up, we needed a group of people to, run things. Large corporate entities needed to be watched, and they were not all one company. It's like a bunch of little fiefdoms, a place in Albuquerque, New Mexico, 3 in New York City, 1 in Philly, another in Minneapolis. Each cannot be managed by the same person, so you need a guy there to oversee operations, logistics, payroll, supervise the workers. And as companies in the Industrial Revolution grew, they needed more people. And as the corporations grew, the government grew with them and needed managers of their own to oversee the new operations, make sure the workers didn't die too much, products weren't killing humans, polluting the water and such, making sure no one was robbing anyone else, things like this. Now with all of these managers, you need colleges and universities to train them. In the beginnings, you went to college if you were in a rich upper class, probably to Europe, or to the few that were in America. They were there to take children of the rich men and humble them and teach them to be good leaders. The new colleges do the same. It's called liberal arts. They're foundational classes. Why? Because they're creating the leaders of the system. Same old shit, different toilet. Now these colleges need to have similar teaching, so you know if someone has a degree, say in law, they don't come out saying, "Well, sir, you have a case. That guy obviously cut his eyes at you. Of course you should have hit him." So the universities need curriculums that are shared through the university system. The colleges who create the curriculum are places like Harvard, Yale, NYU, Princeton, Georgetown. They produce the most prestigious people and degrees, so everyone else takes their curriculums and uses them. It's why everyone who comes out of college has the same ideas and talking points, the same beliefs. So when you ask what a solution is to a problem that a government or a corporation will adopt, I promise you it'll be one that benefit the people who come out of the system, and it will be implemented by these people and grow their power. So when you ask, why won't they just leave us alone, this is why. This class of people only have one solution. It's to use their class to solve the problem. They have no humanity. They have no individualism. They have no idea what work is. All of their ideas are based off the premise that the system is just flawed and needs fixed. They cannot think of another system. It's beyond their ability. They are managers. They want to manage. It's like asking a mechanic to solve a cavity. He isn't drilling nothing. He's getting the pliers or the channel locks and a pry bar. So where does this leave us? We must explain this and have a basic conversation about humanity. The pressures put on children from our corporate schools or indoctrination centers, from the colleges and the corporate offices, and from government managers have created a trans and gay agenda, the depression, the anxiety, the instability, the school shootings, all of it. Our system has created all of this to make profit and technology. Now you are asking, so what? We have technology and profit. Slow down there, Haas. Let's discuss this. How much of this tech and profit is good? Look around you. When was the last time you laid in the grass and looked at the stars, lit a fire, and didn't have your face in your phone? Didn't pull out your phone and take a pic of a sunset when you seen it? When's the last time you dug your hand in the earth and pulled out dinner? Put your hands in your pants. You feel that? That's your dick. You pee, you poop, you come. You was made to be an animal. Live in nature. And you're so removed from it that if I asked you to kill something and cook it, could you? Everyone in your family could 100 years ago. You changed much. You are barely even human anymore. We look more like Wall-E people than we do our ancestors. I know we live longer. We have medicine, so our children don't die. That's great. No one says we need to give this up. We had this tech, and honestly, it's not improving a lot. Since antibiotics has been invented, we've created, a few new synthesized versions? Mostly because the ones we did have, we put in the additive that everyone was allergic to. We created and synthesized insulin. We have chemo drugs that saved a few people. We've been doing cesarean sections since the 1600s. Granted, we now wash our hands. We have cell phones that allow us to talk to anyone, anywhere in the whole world. Look up the whole of the human knowledge in an instant. Though most people just use it to doom scroll Facebook, watch TikToks about nonsense, or jerk off. Electric cars, as with most of our technology, is based off of slave labor in Africa. Powered through electricity, it needs 8 hours of recharge at your house every night. The automobile used to mean freedom. Does it make you feel more free? Or is it a tool to get your ass back to work and go buy essential goods for your survival? Now I'm advocating for, now I am advocating for am I advocating for socialism or communism? No. No. The change that needs to be implemented is far more radical than that. I'm advocating for freedom. Real freedom. A home with the family off grid. Food grown on your property, free of government or corporate influence. Free of modernity. While we still have the option to have your internet or hospital use. A new way of life that is more human, where when the lights go out at night, you can see the stars. Charge large cities for crimes against humanity for their light pollution. Force tariffs on them to get their goods so that people stop living in these disgusting shitholes. Explaining to humans that their humanity is more important than their job. More important than money or stuff. Making payroll taxes illegal. Property taxes illegal. Large companies buying swaths of land illegal. Get rid of the IRS, the FBI, the CIA. Ending the State Department. Letting California become its own sovereign land. Ending immigration. Reforming local cultures. Handing people food that's alive. Making neighborhoods into communities. Making Walmart sell off all of its stores to local people. Ending national chains. These ideas are radical to untrained and unfree minds. So I know that most, as they usually do, will ignore them and move back to their video games and their goy slot. But I hope maybe, just maybe, I reach a few of you with these words. These are just suggestions, nothing more. But I think we need to point out reality and get it out in the open. Tom Peace with Pnoid News. Y'all know the deal. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace. Yo, man, listen. Today's sponsor is Radlight, all right? They provide all types of things, all right? Originally, you know what I'm saying, it was just laser pointers and things of this nature, but they got, like, chew toys for your cats, laser module, like, boards with lasers on them, right? Remote control mouses for your cats to play with. They got credit card scanners, right? They got, laser diodes, RC drones, laser pens, battery packs, rechargeable batteries, lasers that, like set things on fire, right? They also got, the original set of products. They got the little laser right here with the USB charger that does like stars and butterflies and mice and smiley faces and red dots, right? They got fucking purple lasers that do purple things, right? They got, the little lightsaber lasers that are amazing, right? Little pen lasers for all your needs if you want to stand here and give like a little talk. And you know the deal, all right? All you have to do is stand here and enter Pnoid at checkout, right? Pnoid, all lowercase letters at checkout. You know what I'm saying? And you receive a discount on the order, and Tom Peace will get paid. You'll go order some stuff. Listen, the summertime's coming, Mother's Day's coming. Man, look, your mother probably got like 18 cats because she's a single mom. I know none of y'all on the channel who watch me got a fucking dad. Real shit. Go and check out Radlight and grab you some stuff for your dad's cat. It's gonna be awesome. All right, that's code Pnoid at checkout. Yo, thank you, and let's continue with the